Hello and welcome to 3 Minute Gaming. I'm Nathan, and today I'm going to tell you if this game's worth their time and bandwidth. Today's game is Age of Mythology Retold. Age of Mythology is back with some shiny new assets. Is it worth reviving, or is this a false god? Let's find out. Age of Mythology is an RTS spin-off of the Age series, released between 2 and 3, and ditching the historical angle for a more spiritual approach. The core components of an Age game are still here, so if you're familiar with any of them, you'll be able to jump right in. You have 4 unique empires to choose from, each with their own units and playstyle. You'll still build workers to harvest the game's 3 core resources, with a new 4th one, Faith, as well as building structures. You still have the big tech gateways and ages that unlock more of the tech tree and units, and getting to them first often swings the game in your favor. Where Mythology mixes it up is with its more supernatural aspects. Now when you age up, instead of just getting more stuff, you have to choose a specific god out of 2 for worship. Your options are decided by which god you chose as your main patron at the beginning of the game, such as Zeus or Thor, with each empire having 3 patron gods in the base game. Gods come with a whole host of unique stuff. Each has a dedicated power, which range from small economic boosts like spawning gold mines, to more impressive stuff like dumping meteors or vortexes on your enemies. In addition to powers, each god has a reserved myth unit. Things like gorgons, beholders, trolls, magic crocodiles, and more. This is in addition to unique techs often specific to that unit, as well as broader tech improvements. While myth units are insanely powerful, they slot into the game's paper, scissors, rock system. Myth units decimate regular military units, they just eat them for breakfast. But the new hero units, think Theseus or Heracles, slay myth units for fun. But hero units, being just men themselves, are easily defeated by a human army. Thus, the balance of which units to recruit and microing who will target what becomes important. You'll be battling across either one of the game's 2 lengthy campaigns, or via a skirmish with either AI or human players online. And it should be mentioned, the game uses the same controller scheme on Xbox as Ages 2 and 4, which is to say it works quite well. Though with the larger emphasis on microing, it's a little trickier to pull those things off on a console. And that is Age of Mythology Retold, a remake of the odd stepchild of the Age series, brought back to life by belief and sheer force of will. So what did I like about Age of Mythology Retold? Well, Age of Mythology still holds up as a game that takes the classic Age formula, but spices it up with hero and myth units, making it easy to access, but still having plenty of depth. It's a classic for a reason. On that note, as someone who played a lot more Age 2, the inclusion of both god powers and split choices every age adds considerable more choice and flavor to the game, not to mention every empire having significantly different playstyles. And lastly, the new visuals and quality of life features are fantastic. I was a little worried since it was already a 3D game and got an extended edition that it wouldn't be that much of a visual upgrade, but playing them both back to back, Retold goes a long way in modernizing the graphics. When it comes to the bad, the auto economy for this game is completely borked. Workers seem to view it only as a suggestion, and even though I would say turn wood to 0%, 90% of my workforce would be Paul Bunyaning forests down. This is an even bigger problem on Xbox, where you really can't micro your workers effectively. On that note, the computer opponent AI seems also pretty borked, especially if the ocean is involved. I've had them build Titan gates and then just have the Titan wander around attacking nothing until it dies. They've been overly consistent on their timings when it comes to attacking you, among other things. I don't know what happened here. And lastly, the game is missing the Chinese expansion from Extended Edition, which is weird since H2 Definitive had all the extra DLC from previous releases packed in. They've already announced they're going to sell it to you later, which honestly feels a little greedy and is also kind of a glaring omission. As you know, I rate games on a 3-point scale, must play, maybe consider, and don't bother. And Age of Mythology Retold is a fantastic version of an excellent RTS game, but it definitely lacks the polish Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition had. The AI issues can be frustrating and the auto economy really does need to be fixed, but if I'm being honest, these are minor issues that don't detract from a unique and addicting godly RTS. If you've enjoyed pretty much any game in the Age series or just RTSs in general, Mythology Retold is still worthy of worship. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you played Age of Mythology Retold, did you play the original one like I did? Please let me know what you think in the comments, but regardless, go out there and make sure you give this one a look.